Potato.
Hey, happy Tuesday. I think we started stream with Curtis screaming butt into the microphone today.
Hey, I tried not to.
No, you didn't try. You tried very hard to.
If I don't
Yeah,
mitigate you, this would be every week. Well, happy Tuesday. Welcome to the Requisite, right here in Proficiency Bonus. Fun news. Another year, another charity stream, another goal met. We reached our Extra Life donation goal as of, I believe, Sunday's stream. So congratulations to all of you guys here, my players who mercilessly hawked our charity donations to our viewers. Thank you, anybody who's watching at home who may have donated. It is a good cause, and we are always extremely grateful and touched that you would spend your hard-earned money helping us to do some charitable stuff. So that's really cool. Thank you, everybody. Cardboard Castle Games, Little Dragon Corp, sponsors of tonight's episode. We'll hear more about them during a mid-roll ad if I remember to roll one. We'll see how it goes. If not, you can be sure to check out those sponsors by typing !Little Dragon or !CCG into the chat during tonight's stream. Little Dragon Corp is a Canadian-based purveyor of dice and other tabletop sundries. If you buy anything from their website, you can use our code BONUS at checkout for 15% off of your order. I believe that's it. So we'll right into a recap. I'll try and get the juices flowing tonight. We got a lot of plot unraveling very quickly. So if you guys will remember, we left off last week in the city of Terra Libra, where you guys discovered that, unbeknownst to you, the individual who helped you out in the Igdian city of Shivas Invaria appears to have been Artanis, masquerading as Cloud, a humble adjunct to the Ignian government. Using you guys to get himself into the city, he broke into the ziggurat and availed himself of some sort of an artifact which he then used to rip portals in reality open and allow Ignian soldiers to flood into the city and begin attacking its populace. When you challenged him, he essentially attempted to negotiate and talk with you, but you were like, nah, fuck that, and you chose violence. So violence was done. It turned...
To be fair, his negotiation was, I'm going to level a city block and then pretend I'm negotiating.
Put down your arms and let me unmake reality.
You guys proceeded to clash with him, only to drive him to retreat, or to retreat when he was ready. Hard to say. He seemed to be cooking up that escape portal during most of your conversation. But Alar, you saw him escape through a portal into the central chamber of the Star Spire in Mithlande, where you saw several others that you would presume to be his generals, as well as an individual wearing a set of Magitech armor bearing the Orb of Dragonkind in the center of the chest. On his way out, as a last-ditch effort to stop him, Riker, revealed to be the evoker of the Council of Eight, on Vrasek Sharpclaw's orders, called down a meteor swarm, basically on your heads. Artanis, apparently Artanis sounded a little too close to Cortana, and it activated my Artanis summoned back all of these tears in reality into this staff and unleashed them all in one devastating attack that shattered the incoming meteor swarms and pierced both fighting dragons, the red dragon possessed by the Orb of Dragonkind, Ontaxia, and your ally, the silver dragon, Zalzaveth. That is where we left off last time, and that is where we're going to pick up right now, immediately. With this, everything around you is fire and darkness. The falling meteors summoned by Riker smashed into pieces by the swarming energy of the strange artifact in Artanis' possession rain down on you. But you find that none of the fire and fury of Riker's spell brings you harm. The world is a cacophony of sound for a long stretch of seconds before the crash of the magical hellstorm subsides, leaving you all standing in your own little clean specks of ground amidst a field of scorched stone and blasted vegetation. Dust intermingles with steam as the airborne particulates cast skyward begin to settle, and lake water, vaporized in the blast, swirls and begins to coalesce into this odd sort of soot shower that comes down. The front of the ziggurat has been blasted even further into rubble than it was by Artanis' explosion from inside. The archway that held the portal through which Artanis retreated is now little more than a few scattered bits of stone. Above you, a shadow looms, growing larger. As you look up, you see the two colossal reptilian forms of the red and silver dragons falling from the sky. You realize they are not in an uncontrolled freefall, but are instead descending slowly, almost controlled. You look, and beside you see Vrasik Sharpclaw has his hands extended skyward towards the two great reptiles, strain evident on his face as he brings them down amidst the shattered facade of the ziggurat, instead of dropping directly upon your heads. The two creatures land heavily a few dozen meters from you. Even brought down softly, you feel the impact through the soles of your boots. The red dragon, Ontaxia, too large to be fully contained upon the available space, slides from solid ground and comes to rest partially submerged in the lake. As you approach, you see that the pearly white light of the Orb of Dragonkind's control has left her eyes, but so too has any sign of life. A deep, rattling rumble shakes you with a start, and you see a ragged, shallow breath raise the shimmering, silvery scaled side of Zalzaveth. His massive head lays resting on a pile of rubble, and you see one huge eye turn towards you.
Well, go find out how well that staff works. I'm yanking out, I'm running toward the dragon.
As you run towards him and you bring this staff up, he rumbles out, "Alar, save your magics. I am beyond their capacity. My time is short, and I have an obligation before I pass."
The party waits with bated
Yeah,
Rowan was moving with Alar to go help.
Walt's just getting ready to slam spare the dying and
yeah,
slap
we're all
the shit out of
hands
this
up,
dragon.
ready.
Alar, Zalzaveth is looking fixedly at you right now, and he says, "I am sure you don't understand everything just yet. The time for stumbling about in the darkness is coming to an end, I promise. I would have liked to tell you everything in its fullness, with time to answer all of the 1,000 questions you will have. But that is not the hand we've been dealt, my young friend.
The Brotherhood is mistaken. They are following in the footsteps of a man who is sold on a lie. A lie the World Heart has not the power to reshape existence. The utopia that the first Artanis sought was never a possibility. The World Heart is not a tool left by the gods capable of shaping reality. It is Aziria's anchor, a bridge that connects our world to all others. There is no utopia to be had if the World Heart is severed from its bonds. Only apocalypse. We were not strong enough to do aught but forestall the destruction all of those millennia ago, and our power has only waned since. All of this, it has been about finding someone to finish what we could not. Find you. All of you.
Zalzaveth closes his eyes and a gleaming light appears on his massive forehead. It coalesces into a crystal, shaped to fit into the chronomancy device that you recovered.
That will offer some illumination, I think.
The great dragon slides his eye across all of you.
My brethren did well in their choices.
He settles his attention back on you, Alar, and he says,
I have always loved mortal kind, even before I became what I am now. You are inquisitive, curious, and the brief flame of your short lives burns so brightly and beautifully. A flash of wonder, of joy and hope, and an inextinguishable bounty of ambition. It is why I joined this fight, and why I have carried this mantle for all these long years. But I am very old, very tired. I miss my kind, and I think it is now time that I go on. I finally can rest easy knowing that you will set things right, and all who have passed will finally be able to leave this place for the next, me included. This is the last gift I have to give to you.
and Zalzaveth shifts his gargantuan head, the scrape of his scales against the scorched stone rumbling the ground beneath your feet. The tip of his nose looms over you, and he taps you with the gentlest touch that he can muster. It knocks you over. And then Alar... What?
I said, that's okay. He's basically swaying on his feet because he can't save his friend.
You feel something pass from the dragon into you. A power. Clean and bright and seemingly limitless. A power older than anything you have felt or experienced thus far. All of you see that Alar begins to literally glow, a golden light enveloping him. There is a thunderclap, and then he seems to absorb this light into himself, returning to normal. Alar, you level up twice.
Holy shit. Okay.
What the fuck?
I just wrote that in all caps.
I'm gonna take that
Notes.
word.
more sponsor.
Alar, you also don't know how you know this, but you know that it is true. Unless you are killed somehow, you are now immortal.
Oh shit.
That's what. Okay.
We don't know this. We don't know this.
You don't know this. You just saw Alar glow.
Unless you die, you're gonna live
I just got
forever.
really excited when Aylar started glowing, and then what I went, oh. Because Rowan's Halo's still going.
Rowan and Taylor are still going.
Alar just says a very quiet, what the fuck tone, curse in Draconic.
You settle yourself from this, and you look back at the great silver dragon, and his eyes are closed, and no further breaths move the great bellows of his sides. Rowan, Brahm, Oz, Walter. Collectively, all of you feel this sudden oceanic sorrow well up inside you. It is part of you, but it is not originating from you. It is distinct from your own emotions, whatever they might be in this moment. Rowan, as you feel this wash over you, the blazing illumination of your sword dims and extinguishes. The halo around your head fades and disappears. You feel yourself return back to normal. There is a muffled shout from back towards the shoreline, and then a two-dimensional rift opens beside you, and Torian Idrian hurtles through it, crashing to the ground, clearly having regained consciousness and thrown himself through this dimension door before getting his bearings. He hits the ground and staggers upright and sees Zalzaveth and lurches towards the dragon, falling to his hands and knees and putting his hands on the great reptile's head. And you hear him he leans down and you hear him go, "Ha, Zalzaveth, takwa tatai betan sekrola fasaten Zalzaveth." And he sort of you see him shake. Zalzaveth! God!
Rowan helps Alar stand up, and then helps him walk to Torian. And we kind of just...
Yeah, I'll get down on one side of him and on his shoulder.
He kind of pushes himself back, and he stands up. And he turns and he looks at you. And he says, "What happened?"
We made a horrible mistake. The elf we brought with us, he was Artanis. Came here. I don't know if he had that staff or he got it out of the ziggurat, but he was the one that made all those portals, and I hit him. I hurt him. I know I hurt him. He can bleed. He can die. But I didn't do the job. And he escaped when Riker tried to bring down the ziggurat. But before he did, he took all of those portals. He killed my friend.
He says, "You saw him. You fought
Yes.
him. What did he say? Did Did he tell you anything? Did you learn anything?
I saw the Star Spire in the portal that he made to escape. I saw a man in armor with a fist-sized stone in the center of his chest. I saw a few others there. He demanded that we lay down our arms and tried to convince us that he was making the world better.
The artifact that he took, what was it? Why did he need it? What was he doing with it? What was the point of the portals, if only to leave? He must have said something. You must have learned something from him. Anything!
Alar glances back at the others. Is there anything I'm forgetting? Something that I missed in all of them.
The staff. The staff itself worked here in this place where you cannot teleport.
That's what he needed.
If he can't have a dragon to get through the barrier, it's irrelevant if this portal can be torn anywhere.
He shakes his head. He says, no, he doesn't need the dragon. He never needed the dragon. He needs the orb. He has the orb. Why did he come here for this? It doesn't... We were finally, you were supposed to be playing on even footing, and he's still one step ahead of us! Damn it! And he punches the ground at his feet, and you see, like, the cobblestones, like, shatter beneath his fist. And he stands up, and he looks at the group of you, and he says... Clearly, I thought I was better than I am. I thought, after all of this time, I could just pluck the strings the right way and everything would work out, and I have put all of my eggs in one basket, and clearly I was wrong.
Salzaveth gave me a gift. I don't fully understand it. Feel stronger? And there's something else. I don't think I'm gonna get any older.
You will find that is not a gift, but a terrible curse. Lucky for you. He says, lucky for you. You're not going to have to live with it that long, because this has all been for naught. And he, like, turns from you, and he just, like, begins walking away. Like, teleports away.
We're off the path.
Fuck the path. I go and grab the crystal that Salzaveth created.
Okay.
And I look at Alar. I'm sorry about your friend. Sorry for all of this.
I wish you could have met him. He was so kind.
A halfling turning into the dragon that just kicked the ass of the dragon that's been haunting my fucking dreams for months now. Maybe, if he's right, see him when we move on. And I'll get to know him then. And Rowan just grabs Alar like how soldiers do and like just butts their heads together. And we'll make it worth it. Because something has to fucking work, okay?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We chose well. What Mr. Salsifus said. We chose well. There are
He said
others.
my brethren did well in their choices. Torian seems to think this is a curse. Salziveth seems to think it's a gift. I'm gonna trust the person that has been pulling our strings.
We should really see what's on that crystal.
Yeah. Brahm, you should also see about contacting your mentors. They had some other knowledge they were going to pass to you. The time was right, and sun's getting mighty low.
And what's the
Brahm,
play?
nope,
Go
I was
ahead.
gonna say Brahm doesn't say anything, and he's sort of been, like shell shocked, I guess, in the terms of like, seeing Artanis.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, because Brahm grew up, I mean, in the organization, it's sort of like sort of like the boogeyman, like not even a thing that like nobody knows exists, and then so like it's a lot for Brahm because it's like, not only is this real, but like also that like we just failed to stop him and a whole bunch of people died. So
And more importantly, you figured out he's very killable. No, probably.
was killable at the time. May not be the next time we see him.
Exactly.
If we believe Torian, it won't matter. And maybe none of this ever did. Let's go see what we can learn and move forward. Rowan has fully shifted into like steps mode, like soldier
Sure.
mode, like
Yeah. Okay, so your guys' move is to go back to Ladry's Keep and view this crystal.
Sure.
And yeah, assess the damage that's been done. See if there's anything, any remaining soldiers that need.
Sure. So, what I will tell you is this: as you make your way back to Ladry's Keep, Vrasik Sharpclaw stays behind to deal with like the aftermath in the ziggurat. He sends a missive like that catches up to you guys as you guys are getting to Ladry's Keep. That basically informs you. He's like, I figured you would want to know anything that I could tell you about that thing that Artanis took. So here is what I have. He tells you the only thing he the only stuff he can tell them about it is whatever that thing was that Artanis took. It's one of the like oldest things. It has been in residency of the Ordinum Libri for among the longest of the artifacts that they have. It was recovered in the earliest days of the Bookkeepers organization when their order was still consisted mostly of like a loose network of independent scholars who were doing the work of trying to safeguard magic and knowledge from destruction at the hands of like despots during the Great Wars after the collapse of the Invarian Empire. It was deemed to have properties of an unknown type of magic, and the earliest studies in it resulted in dangerous and often uncontrolled rifts that usually resulted in the death of anyone in the area. For those reasons, it was essentially deemed like a deeply dangerous magical artifact and like sealed in the ziggurat. The fact that it could like apparently make portals, not just like into whatever this like horrible nega place is, but like to somewhere else in the world that could be transited, was not something that the Ordinum was even aware that thing could do. That's what he's able to tell you about that. The other information that you gain, as like Riker will go back with you towards Ladria's Keep, people like kind of run up to him and tell him what's going on. You glean information from all of that. When Artanis closed the portals the way that he did, reports basically say that like probably hundreds of Ignean soldiers who were like in transit between spaces just got like sealed into whatever that place was between, presumably to die like a truly horrible nightmarish death. There are like dozens of corpses or even like dismembered body parts like in the city, where like any soldiers that were like part of the way out of a portal when it closed just got like severed from whatever part of their body was still inside. So there's like halves of soldiers and like arms and legs laying around. The soldiers who were already in the city were very quickly stymied and either killed or taken prisoner. A group of about 400 prisoners are being held inside a makeshift mass cell created by redirecting some of the energy pylons that they use for like city defense to like essentially enclose a big open plaza where they've just like put all the soldiers. The initial reports that you hear are that as they're trying to get information from these soldiers, well, there are like their fair share of like hardened elite soldiers and like zealots who are just like, we're here for the glory of the Empire. All things are the Empire's, like dominion, and that's what we're here for. They're finding that a lot of the like rank and file soldiers don't really have an idea of like what's going on. And initial reports are that like some of them even like don't even know that they're in Terra Libra. They basically just got like marched and then were like, go run through that portal and fight, and they like have no idea where they were or what was going on. The city did not sustain a tremendous amount of damage from the fight, and loss of life was minimal, save for some of the damage the soldier was able to do, and then obviously the destruction that like Artanis raised with that staff trying to threaten you guys caused some pretty significant damage. That's sort of the state of things as you guys get back to Ladria's Keep. I think probably unless you decide that you want to like send for them to have them all come back, like the Council of Eight are like plenty busy doing things in the city trying to like put this right. You guys have like free reign that you can go in and like use that device just like amongst yourselves if you want.
I mean, I don't really think we need the Council of Eight, especially with everything going crazy right now. We just need to get this dealt with as fast as possible and figure out what's on that crystal.
Yeah.
And we could leave the crystal behind for them to watch it later.
Yeah, we'll let if Riker's coming back with us, we'll let him know this is what we're doing. We'll leave the crystal for their viewing at their I won't say leisure, but
okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So you head back into the chamber where that chronomancy device is still set up, just as it was with the obelisk. You put the crystal in, and just like before, once again, like your vision begins to shift and change. Everyone's except for you, Oz. You see the other's eyes go glassy and distant as they are swept away into the vision, but you find that you remain in the here and now. For those of you who are not Oz, the vision that you are shown by the crystal is thus. A landscape rushes by far below you, and you feel the wind push up and flex against the membranes of your wings. You adjust your tail, using it like a rudder against the air currents. You are Zalzaveth, in his true form, flying towards the setting sun. The planet's rings dazzle as you see through the dragon's eyes. His perceptions of light and shadow and color are so much different than your own. In the distance, a small speck begins to resolve itself into a magnificent city. It blazes gloriously in the fading light, marble, crystal, and the hauntingly beautiful champagne-colored alloy that your present-day self recognizes as Invarian building material. Zalzaveth rises high above the clouds to avoid being spotted by anyone on the ground in a small settlement below, before beginning to descend towards the slope of a rolling mountain range. As he approaches the ground, you experience the strange sensation of shifting forms from a dragon into a halfling, as he takes his bipedal shape, lands alighting on the ground, and then approaches a group of 3 individuals standing on the hillside who are looking out at the city. In your present-day minds, you have a very odd experience. As Brom, Alar, and Walter, you recognize 2 of the 3 people in this group. Rowan, you don't recognize those 2, but you recognize the other one. Brom, you especially realize with a start that you are looking at Reynard and Isengrim. They look exactly as you have always known them to look. Rowan, for the second time in this hour, you are faced with the woman with her blazing red hair. As Zalzaveth finishes the transformation, he approaches the trio.
"The other 2 aren't coming," he says.
"What, we are not good enough for you, old friend?" says Reynard glibly.
"I believe neither of them were close enough to make it in time. We'll have to do it without them," says the red-haired woman. "You're positive they've found one, Isengrim?"
"Yes. The Dreadworm Silrex had been entrusted to the Black Orb by the cult. When the High Empyrean and his dragon killers slew him, they claimed it."
"And I don't suppose we can simply make a request for an audience and ask him to hand it over?" "Hello, Your Magnificence, Empyrean Silverleaf, but that little trinket is actually a deadly artifact that could help a group of misguided crazies end the world. Can we have it instead so that we can not end the world?"
Mon ami, alas, no, I think we did a little snooping, and the Empyrean believes it to be a power source capable of supplanting spectromancy as an energy source to power his capital. Apparently his chief arcanotechnist has been telling him things.
"And I'm assuming that we're now certainly sure that this arcanotechnist is Artanis."
Almost assuredly. I don't think we have the luxury of time. If Artanis says an orb, they will no doubt attempt to pierce the maelstrom and breach Glau. We must take it, and we must do it now, waiting for the others to be damned.
The image changes, and you see yourself as Zalzaveth in halfling form, riding horseback. To his left, Reynard and Isengrim are on a black stallion. To his right, the red-haired woman on a chestnut mare. You gallop full tilt through the streets of the magnificent Invarian city. Citizens dive out of the way, they shout and they scream as you tear past, fast approaching an opulent palace. As your horses pelt towards the closed gates, guards move to block your path. The red-haired woman lifts a hand high and brings it down with a shout, and a crash of golden, radiant light accompanies a pillar of divine fire coming down from above and blasting the massive gate to slag. Reynard releases Isengrim's waist and lets himself tip backwards off the horse. Instead of hitting the cobblestones, a rift opens and he tumbles backwards through it, completing with a fall out of the other side of the dimension door in a somersault that lands him on his feet next to the sun guards. With a flourish, he turns, and a fan of knives spin from his long flowing sleeves, and a whirling cloud of daggers slices throats and hamstrings left and right. The guards fall, and the horses charge through the now open gate, Isengrim reaching down, smoothly pulling Reynard back onto the horse as the four of you charge towards the palace. A bell begins to ring somewhere in the city behind. The scene changes again. The four stand in the center of a massive throne room. Dozens of dead guards litter the floor in a wide circle around them. Dozens more stand surrounding them, pikes pointed in their direction. On the far side of the chamber, seated atop a dazzling throne, is an elven man with long, graceful platinum hair and a scepter. Beside him, an elf with dark hair stands near a complex series of slender levers and pedals. The back wall of the throne room is dominated by the pipes of a grandiose pipe organ. Set in a complicated-looking articulated arm suspended from the ceiling is unmistakably an orb of dragonkind, pitch midnight black.
Emperor Silverleaf, Zalzaveth exclaims, "You're being misled. That man is not the loyal subject you believe him to be. He does not mean to offer you a means to power your empire. He intends to destroy it. You must listen."
Emperor Nossum Silverleaf looks at Zalzaveth with a level of utter dismissal, and nods to the man beside him. The man turns and begins to play the organ, reading from a scroll of sheet music on a holder before him. As he plays, the floor between the Emperor and where the guards have the four surrounded begins to open. A massive mechanical working, revealing a chasm in the floor, driven by the power of the organ, retracting two panels of the floor to reveal an arcane reactor. Massive, glowing green batteries on either side feeding power to the machine, which seems to be pushing luminous, arcane energy through conduits that snake into the bowels of the palace that thrum with power. You recognize the distinct hue and color of this power as identical to what you have seen in the lanterns that the present-day Brotherhood has been charging with soul energy. As the organ plays, the spectromancy batteries are uncoupled, and the arm begins to descend, lowering the black orb towards a waiting port, ready to receive it. Isengrim and the red-haired woman shout and charge, the guards reacting and closing in, when suddenly everyone is knocked to the ground, as the top of the palace shatters and is torn away. The next few moments of the vision are a blur to you. Zalzaveth's experiences of it fractured and jumbled, but you see a gargantuan black dragon rip its way into the building, most of the flesh torn from the nightmare creature's face, a blazing blue orb burning in the hollow socket of one side of its face where it no longer has an eye. Rotted flesh, sinew, and bone crashing into the midst of the throne room. You see Nossum Silverleaf lifted by a claw and hurled bodily across the throne room, where he is impaled through the heart on a jagged, broken piece of pipe organ. You see the man presumed to be Artanis scramble in an attempt to get the orb of dragonkind as the mechanisms of the floor close, only to be incinerated. You see flashes of the four trying to fight the undead dragon to no avail, and you watch as hordes of soldiers attempt to pour into the throne room, only to die as the beast slaughters them. You see the first shades rise from the charred corpses of the Invarians. You see Reynard dart through a growing horde of shadowy nightmares, snatching the sheet music from the pedestal and retreating back to the others. You see yourself, as Zalzaveth, reaching the exterior of the now collapsing and burning palace. You feel yourself transform again, taking wing, the red-haired woman, Reynard, and Isengrim on your back, up and away as you fly, fleeing the capital of the Invarian Empire, as the first shades begin to pour from the palace and spread out across the city. The image shifts. You see that you are Zalzaveth, and you are alone with the red-haired woman, standing atop of a wall overlooking a barren valley. You can tell innately that time has passed, a few years at least. Trenches and barricades litter the no man's land. Rowan, you know this battlement. You know that valley. The city is smaller and less well fortified in this age, but you recognize Lyra well enough. You realize that this piece of a moment in time begins in the midst of a conversation. Is the last bastion to keep the blight from spreading further? I know, Zalzaveth is saying, but are you sure you want to do this? It's the only way. The men and women here are brave, and more importantly, they have faith. Faith in the light. So long as they have that, I can share its power with them. They'll be enough. They have to be. But you will have to seal myself away just like poor Maka, yes. I wish there was another way. We're already so scattered. It's been so long and we don't seem to be any closer to setting things right. If anything, we seem further away. Because now we know where an orb is and we can't bloody get to it. I wish I had you mortals' naivete sometimes. It'd make it easier for things not to feel so hopeless. You're being arrogant again, Zal. I'm just as immortal as you, remember? You puffed up iguana. Yes, well. If you're to suspend yourself, how will you find your successor? I suppose he's told you this is all part of the plan and it'll work itself out in the end? Actually, I came up with this one on my own. When I told him, he seemed genuinely taken by surprise, which is always a treat. What do you... And the woman places her hands over her abdomen. The small shape of a bump visible there, when she smooths the fold of her dress down. What? Zalzaveth yelps. You... Who? Theodorian. Mithlinde? That love-struck puppy? Ugh. He's sweet, and he's a good man. He'll be a good father to her. A daughter, then? I don't know how I know, but I'm certain of it. The two are silent for a time. When? After the baby's born. The Dawn can hold the lines at least for that long, and then I'll do what needs doing, and perhaps they'll be able to retake the peninsula, or maybe at least reach the capital to recover the orb and get back out. And until they do, you'll just be sealed away. I'll be able to get out once in a while. There are always those who might need a little nudge towards the light, and I'll do what I can. Zalzaveth and the red-haired woman embrace. I'll tell your Radiant Knights to work quickly. I want to have you back with us. We all will. Good luck, Zal. Good luck, Corey. The vision begins to fade. You begin to return to the present day. Except for you, Rowan, it's a little different. The end of the vision for you is, instead of fading and returning to your present surroundings straight away, you see, all in a flash, Corey holding in her arms a small, squalling baby girl with a wisp of red hair. A man with a proud posture and sorrow in his eyes takes the infant from her as she steps back, and a blinding flash of white light whites out your vision. In that instant, you see the life of that girl flash by until you see her own daughter in her arms. Again and again, flashes of mothers and daughters, snippets of lives lived, until at last you see your own mother holding an infant in her arms. As the infant gets its first glimpse of the world, you find yourself staring into your own eyes. And then you return to your body.
Damn.
Osrius.
Yes.
As all of your companions begin to drift into this vision, and you see that you're left behind, I am going to ask the other 4 players to mute and deafen their microphones. I will give you a thumbs up when it is safe to return.
I have to pee anyways. So
You can pee if you want.
I'm gonna go
My
pee.
last words are "Have fun, Oz," and I'm gonna go mentally process this in my cone of silence.
Alrighty. Osrius.
Yes.
You realize that you've been left behind. You are standing in the council chamber as your friends travel far away and witness events of the past. And you're not sure why you didn't go. Maybe the machine is broken. Maybe there's something wrong with you. You're pondering this when a noise catches your ear. The clack of something being set on the polished floor of the chamber. You turn, and you come face to face with you.
Me?
You are standing on the other side of the chamber, your axe haft down on the floor. Hey, you say to you.
Hi. Hello there.
You look around. I remember this. This is right after Artanis killed the dragon, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They were reckless. They had something to prove.
Very much so.
Shame. Okay, so this is weird for me too. But I did this all before. We saw the dragon die. We saw the vision that they're seeing right now. And then we argued a bunch about what to do. Go after Artanis. Go after the orb. We went after Artanis. Because they were afraid he had everything he needed to get the World Heart, and we didn't think we had time. But really we went because they had something to prove.
Worse.
He says,
Always.
go ahead.
It seems like it's always either something to prove, good or bad. Just wish it wasn't this time around.
Funny thing about that. So we lost. He used that crystal. He opened a portal in that chamber where the World Heart is. We killed him and all the other Brotherhood guys, but he let something else worse through. And we lost. I did the only thing I had left to do. I pulled a card out of that deck you've got in your bag right now. I knew when I pulled it I had one chance to do something different. A way to make things different. I'm you, so I don't have to explain it, but it's hard for us to know what to say, to know what to do. We spent a long time standing still because we didn't know what the roads ahead would lead to. I didn't know what to do when I pulled this card either. I almost made it so that the clan never died. And then I almost made it so that I died with them. So that none of this would matter.
But I don't want that. You don't want that. Because these people, they care about you. And you care about them. He looks around. I didn't want to rewrite fate. I didn't want to change everything forever and make the world different. Torian Idrian does that. Artanis does that. The meatskins keep trying to twist things around, and all it does is make everything worse. I figured out what I wanted. I wanted a fair shake. Chance to make them play by our rules. Everyone on even footing. I wanted to try again with these people. Once more. After that, if we die, we die. Fair is fair. I guess the magic knew what to do with that because now I'm here, talking to you, when you still have a chance to do things differently. And I have this. And he holds up a shard of crystalline structure, and you recognize it as a piece that looks like it is broken off of the crystal that Artanis had. It broke when we killed him. But it must still be good for something, or I wouldn't have it. I'm supposed to give it to you, I think. Maybe give it to Walter. And you hold it out to yourself.
I'm going to just like stand still for a moment, just for a quick moment, to assess of myself and of the situation, and hearing the last words of myself, and just being like, it's almost just like it clicked together, and it was just like, yeah. And then he just grabs it and like immediately just pushes his hand like towards it and like looks myself in the eyes and just like, yeah.
Take it. He nods and he says, okay. Feels like I did what I needed to do. I changed my thing. Do things differently than we did the first time. Don't chase him now. Make them understand. He just like kind of looks and goes, well, I guess I'm gonna stop existing now? This is weird. And suddenly you're alone in the chamber. And your companions begin waking up, coming out of their vision. Russell's not back from peeing. Brittany
we got
is
half
there.
the fight.
Okay.
There you go.
My emotional support human just entered the room because I was screaming.
Russell fall in.
He might have. Why don't we? Let's do a quick ad break to give him a chance to come back.
Yeah.
Because I don't want Curtis to have to like launch into all of this with not everybody here. So let's go ahead. We'll pop onto a quick mid roll, and we will be back in just a moment. Alrighty, don't go nowhere. Bye.
Hello, and thank you so much for hanging out with us here at Proficiency Bonus. Please take an opportunity to support our sponsors.
First up is Little Dragon Corp. Little Dragon Corp is an online storefront based in the Great White North of Canada. They sell everything your heart could desire, so long as everything your heart desires is largely polyhedral dice sets and other TTRPG sundries. Check them out for all of your dicey needs. Perhaps buy a lovely hardcover copy of one of these fine books. If you're feeling especially cute, you could treat yourself to a t-shirt or one of these fine little proprietary Little Dragon Corp dragon plushies. They've got all the classic types of dragon, like Mooney, Terra, Dad, whatever strikes your fancy over on Little Dragon Corp. Be sure to enter our special promo code BONUS at checkout for 15% off of your order. That's BONUS, BONUS, for 15% off your order. That's like if you made 7 individual purchases, you could basically buy anything you want on the store, and it's like it was free with all the money that you saved from earlier. I'm absolutely positive that's how math works, and I will be taking no questions at this time. Thank you, Little Dragon Corp.
Don't forget to find us on social media. We're on Twitter, Facebook, and Discord. Links to our social media pages and outlets are located below this video. Don't forget to follow us on Twitch and activate notifications if you'd like to know when we go live with new content. If you'd like to take your support one step further, please consider subscribing to the channel. A subscription unlocks special chat badges, character emotes, and animated emotes that can be used in our live and moderated Twitch chat. If you have an Amazon Prime account, you receive a free Twitch channel subscription each month that you could use to support us. Don't forget, you'll have to resubscribe each month when using your Prime subscription. We appreciate your support.
Cardboard Castle Games is a brick-and-mortar game store local to Evans, Georgia. They have a wide selection of tabletop gaming and other cool games like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon cards, and even Yu-Gi-Oh! You can visit them in-store and let them know that we sent you, or you can go visit their website at cardboardcastlegames.com.
While we are away, now is a great time to go subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's absolutely free, and there you will find hours upon hours of content to enjoy. Click the bell icon to activate notifications so you won't miss a single show. All this week, we are celebrating our 6-year anniversary. During this celebration, we are raising money for Children's Hospital through Extra Life to help make a difference in the lives of children in need. We would love for your help. If you'd like to give a generous donation, click on the big blue donation button below our Twitch video, or type !Extra Life in our Twitch chat for a quick link to our official fundraising portal. Thank you for helping us make the world a better place.
I have returned to remind you about the children. It is I, Pizza for me. I am back because once again Proficiency Bonus is participating in Extra Life in order to raise money to support the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals. Oh, Pizza for me trembles to think of all the good that could be done for the children. If you would help us to reach our goals. If you would like to donate during this ad break, you can do so by clicking the link just there, down below, right there. Yes, right where Pizza Furby is pointing with his tiny baby feet. Yes, you can go to that link and you can donate to the children. I hope that you will do it. If you don't, that's okay. But I will be disappointed. Enjoy the rest of your commercials and the remainder of your stream. I will be watching.
Would you like your own gaming session run by one of the Proficiency Bonus Game Masters? During Anniversary Week, July 21st through July 30th, anyone who donates $100 or more to Extra Life will automatically be entered into a special giveaway. The winner will receive a virtual gaming session for you and your friends run by one of our Game Masters. The drawing for this prize will be held on Sunday, July 30th, at the conclusion of our Anniversary Week programming. Once again, thank you for joining us. We hope you are enjoying the show, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Thanks again to all of our sponsors for supporting Proficiency Bonus. Thanks to them, we have lots of cool giveaways all week during birthday week, so tune in and maybe win some cool tabletop gear. And now, back to the show.
Hello.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We're back. We may have been chatting, and I forgot to pay attention that the mid-roll thing ended, but we're here now. Hopefully, it wasn't too long of a silent black screen for everybody.
It's like 8.5 minutes. I'm kidding. I might not be that kidding.
Hey, Jason, shut up.
Proficiency bonus says
Fine.
that they need to come up with a stuffed animal character for some commercials.
Don't you dare.
No.
I don't understand
No,
what you
no,
mean,
no.
proficiency bonus.
No. I will leave. I will leave.
No.
Yeah!
No. It's a secret.
He's already blurred out for us.
It's a secret to everybody.
That you could,
No.
Yeah, and he's like green screened on the stream.
It works on Twitch.
Oh.
I could have done
No.
Professor Biscuit commercials.
Pizza baby. Pizza
Twitter says hi.
baby.
All you ever need.
I have both characters familiars here.
I will
just look at-
I will sell any amount of products that you want on your commercials with my tiny baby.
We just lost all of our sponsors.
And our viewers.
Anyway.
And our sanity.
And canceled.
Oh, I've never seen negative viewers before. That's fascinating.
Slap stream. This baby can fit so much child disease fighting donations in it.
Oh my god, we are rapidly approaching the ability to do an all Muppet character stream.
I'll do it.
I would love to. I'll do it. Don't fight me. I'll do it.
I bought this badger, I bought this suit, and then I bought this top hat all separately put together, and I glued the hat to him. I'm in it for the long run.
Hold on,
Okay,
let me glue
Professor
this shovel
Biscuit
to this
isn't here to. I was gonna say, yeah, you have the shovel with the mustache.
Yeah, this is my actual Muppet.
The finest of wedding presents.
Why is the little credits show with
Hey
a
Curtis,
mustache?
how you doing over there?
Anyway,
I don't
Without our...
have a rock.
take it away.
I don't have a rock!
You don't have a rock.
We can get him a rock.
You want a rock? I'll find you a nice rock.
I'll bring you a nice rock.
Get him a rock with googly eyes on it.
Okay, so everybody is appearing back.
Everybody
okay,
comes,
take your time.
Everybody comes back to consciousness from their vision.
Okay.
So did everybody else just see their own birth in the cosmos and the universe and everything, or just me?
You didn't see your birth in Cosmos. Only Rowan saw birth of Cosmos.
Oh, I thought it was everybody.
No, it was
No.
Rowan.
But it was everybody except for
No.
Oz saw
No,
that.
you...
Everybody saw everything except the last bit.
Oh,
Rowan
Only I saw that.
everybody else see the life, the universe, and everything.
I saw my mentor. I
heard
saw
my
your
mentor was
mentors.
Those are yours? And I point at Brom.
Yeah, they suspiciously look exactly the same as they still do. So there's some questions.
I turn to Walter.
I mean, one of them's an elf, so that kind of makes sense.
That was the fall of Invaria. That was 1,500 years ago. No, that does not make sense.
Hey,
He-
Walter? Maka is the person that you sometimes see when you go all blue
You
screen.
have an
right?
episode.
Blue screen.
When Walter has his special times.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
the
explains a lot. I don't
When
know
he
what
slipped
sealed
into the
means,
darkness too
but
much.
You weren't.
uh,
I don't. Was that part of just Rowan's bit
What?
when Zalzaveth was talking
Nope.
to Corey about?
that
No,
was
yeah,
Zal,
y'all
that
heard
was
that.
Zal's memory. Yeah.
Okay.
You just got the
Just
bonus
double-checking.
post credit scene.
Right.
Yeah, you got the Ezio Auditore treatment.
Yeah.
You saw your own birth.
So.
Oh god.
Yeah. So I found a way to get to where they are. I think, but it's not a great way to go.
If this involves drowning yourself again, no.
No. They said I shouldn't do that anymore.
I'll do it.
I mean,
Rom, not helping.
Waterboard.
Oz, you good?
Osrius puts up a finger. Just a small finger.
what'd you see? I saw a couple people I knew, but
I don't plan to divulge that. The only thing that we're going to do at this moment, we're going to listen, and the next plan that we do, next plan that I say, we're just going to do. And you're going to trust me. We're going after the orb. We're not going for Artanis. And I don't want to hear a fuss about it. And I bring out Osrius reaches into his pocket and he actually walks up to Walter, and he puts out his hand and he like takes Walter's hand and he puts a crystalline structure, like a shard of a crystalline structure, into Walter's hand. He's like, yeah.
What's this? Is it? Does it look like a memory crystal, or is it something else?
Make an Arcana check.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Did you just find Walter's soul?
Are we talking about the black?
That's a
orb?
solid 6 there.
A 6?
Oh, should have rolled real dice.
It is
Yes.
jagged, as if it has been broken off of a larger something. It is not. It is not worked
What color?
shape.
What color is it?
Dark inky black.
Does it look like my necklace?
No.
Okay.
You mean go into the Blighted Peninsula to the capital of the old Invarian Empire, the palace, and take the black orb of dragonkind?
Go after the orb, and we do not go after him.
What? Oz, I'm sorry. I'm with Alar on this. Which orb are we hunting?
There are 2 orbs in play.
The black one, or the one that is currently embedded in my ex-best friend's chest?
The black one? The black one.
Blighted Peninsula. Well, you know what? I can't get more cursed. Why not? Let's go to the Blighted Peninsula, fellas.
Rowan
The rest of us can.
Rowan just sits down on the ground.
Alar's gonna. Yeah, Alar's gonna sit down next to her. Nobody's made it to the capital in all those years.
I made it pretty fucking far. I got that piece of thing out, and I just point at the Arcana tech we've been using.
All right.
You got that from the Blighted Peninsula? Huh. I'm gonna look at that chart again. It's like, anybody else want to tell me what this is?
Can I look at the shard?
I'll look at it.
Yeah, anybody who wants to can make an Arcana check.
I can tell you.
I'm concerned where a random shard just came from us.
No,
that
I
is
can tell
a
you.
dirty 20. Oh,
I can
go
tell
ahead.
you who gave it to me.
6.
Myself. Myself.
Yourself. What does that
Yes.
mean?
Can I?
That's what you think it means. Myself. Myself gave me that.
From the future?
I don't know what it all means yet. But you just have to trust me. Myself gave me this, and it specifically told me to give it to you. As he, not pushes Walter a little bit, but it's just it's maybe the first time where it's just a little firm push to Walter's, shoulder. And I was like, I'm supposed to give it to you. And we're not supposed to do what we're all wanting to do at this point in moment. Do the opposite. Maybe something happens. Maybe we actually get to where we need to do.
So, Alar got a dirty 20. Brittany has a question.
Yes, Brittany.
Rowan has never heard Oz just be that. He's very upfront and blunt, but she's never heard him say, "We're doing what I want to do."
He's very assertive, which is very out of character for him.
And so she is just. It's not. I don't know if it's really an insight check. It's I guess it would be, but it's more just since we don't know what Oz saw, but it seems like he had this different experience than all of us. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to just make sure he's okay.
I think an insight check is acceptable.
Okay.
I'm already rolling with it. I'm
gonna roll with it. I'm just trying to make sure Oz is okay. That's a 16 insight, which is pretty good for me.
How if as Rowan kind of tries to get your vibe, what does Rowan discover with the 16?
Rowan is seeing that yes, Osrius is fine, but Osrius is also at a point of being most of the time you can see in his eyes that I would say that you see his eyes are normally They have a bit of firmness, but they're still laxed. When he looks at something and when he talks to certain people, it's always of just like a stone, maybe just like a flat stone face. This time it is more like piercing. It is more of seriousness. It is more of just like, this is not of a time to where things could be talked through. This is of a time where it's like, if I have to put my foot down and to make things fair, then this is what we need to do, and this is what I think we all should do in order to survive. And I will do anything, therefore drag any of you, if it is meaning to do what we need in order to keep that. So Osrius's face is very firm and is just like, it's more so, it's just it is what it is.
No more effing around and finding out. It is
Yeah.
We gotta go do this. Okay.
Yeah.
She just nods, but you can. There's no color left in Rowan at the thought of going back. Like, she hasn't moved from the ground. Like, she's gonna do this. She's gonna go along with it. She's not fighting. She's not arguing. But her whole body is just like, like exhaustion.
Alar, you're dirty 20.
Yep.
The crystalline shard that Oz just put in Walter's hand. As you're like looking at it, you're looking at the color, you're looking at the texture, you're like kind of trying to visualize like the shape off of which like this sliver might have broken. Damn if it doesn't look just like it came off of the thing that Artanis just took from the ziggurat.
That was a piece of his staff. I got a damn close look at that thing, and I'm still kicking myself for not grabbing it instead of trying to stick him. But that's our ticket in, isn't it? That's our ticket into the peninsula.
Do you want to try it here or there? You know what? Let's just go.
Alar is still pretty cut up.
Perhaps a nap first?
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm pretty messed up. I'm 60 of my 100 and what? 155?
I have 10 hit points.
115.
Yeah, nap time.
Yeah, we need a nap.
Walter's like high on arcane energy at this point, and like just
like,
right in the
oh
rave
my
of the curse.
God.
And it's just like, all right, maybe we do need a little nappy nap.
Am I remembering correctly, or did you invoke your... since the last time you guys have rested?
You know what? That's an excellent question.
Have you?
I think you did.
I think he did.
I think he did.
Did not during that fight.
Yeah.
Since the last long, I still have it as a use on
Okay.
long rest.
Okay.
I don't know why I
Nope,
thought
it
you did.
resets on a short rest. I have used it.
Maybe it was just the one time then.
Sorry, it says once per short rest. I forgot
Okay.
that was one of the benefits of that ability. But no, I definitely used it at the
I
Enduring
also
Invasion.
really, really, really need to find some inks.
Yeah.
There's some stuff up here I need to get into this grimoire.
Hey, Walter.
Yo.
Before everything went boom, something's always been off with you. I'm not gonna lie. I think I can help. I don't know if you want me to.
It's probably for the best at this point.
To help you or to let it ride?
Walter, that curse is going to kill you horribly.
Yeah, we met one of these before. I'd like to not have that happen.
Yeah, I don't want to see you go down that path. I don't want to explain to Rubine that that happened to you.
Well, no, it was if I had the option to get it fixed, obviously that's gonna happen. But at this point, I was just gonna use it for what it was worth until it took me, or
Well,
it got fixed, whichever came first.
Well,
That's why I wanted to ask.
you
'Cause I
can break
didn't
a
know.
powerful curse.
Rowan plays with the necklace again, not the one with the feathers, but the one that I guess maybe Oz or Braum might have seen her touch briefly in battle before everything went all glowy and psychotic for a moment.
Yeah.
So she touches that again. I'm using a lot of favors today. And if we're going to that fucking place again and you need to be fixed, I'd rather call it all in now.
What good's a favor if you never use it?
Especially if you're probably gonna die if you don't use them all. Rowan, create a restoration bead on Walter to end a curse.
Okay.
Just in the chamber. She's still sitting on the ground. She is still.
This is a touch spell. Get over here.
Get down to my level. I'm tired. I'm emotionally whiplashed. I hated my mother 5 minutes ago. Now I need to have a conversation with her, and I don't know if she's still alive. Get down here.
So you do that. You feel the light flow through you and into Walter. Walter, you feel the inky creeping expansion of this curse that you have been sort of feeling just eke further down your extremities, infesting your blood. It feels like you feel it start to recede. You start to feel that the brightness of the room is not quite as intense. It's not as hard to look at. Rowan, you see for a brief moment the black voids where Walter's eyes should be recede, and you see a hint of white sclera and what was that, brown eyes?
Yeah, I think he was just as common as possible.
Yeah,
The
and you
commonest
see
man of the earth.
a brown eye. And then Rowan, you are blasted back off of him, and land on the ground, skidding away. And Walter, you pass out. You guys see Walter you see his eyes roll back and then disappear again into black voids, and he just falls to the ground and begins seizing and convulsing.
God fucking damn it! And Rowan runs over.
Yeah, Alar's trying to make sure that he doesn't swallow his tongue or hurt himself in his seizing.
Can I do a medicine check to understand what would help him right now?
Sure. Make an Arcana check, actually.
Nat 20?
Arcana is a 19 for me.
Okay, so both of you.
On that roll.
Well, I think Alar, this is gonna be different. What you guys glean from this, Alar, you glean that he's being attacked by the encroachment of this curse. So the best thing that you can do at this point, in a mundane sense, is keep him from biting off his own tongue or something like that. Is gonna be mundane medical approach. As you can tell that the greater restoration didn't do the trick. And now the curse is rebounding with a vengeance. Rowan, you glean you sort of glean the insight that your power, the light is the solution to this, but you don't have the ability to channel enough of it at once right now to have like to like obliterate the heart of this thing where it resides inside Walter.
As a reaction to that knowledge and that brief insight, and to stop him from potentially getting hurt right now, if I dump half my lay on hands, is that gonna just reset him a little? So a hard
Can.
reset on Walter? Okay.
Yeah, you can certainly.
I'm pretty sure our standard hard reset is murder to death and then spare the dying. But
Well, this is Rowan doesn't do that. This is what we got.
I don't have spare the dying, so I can't do that.
So I will spend 25
So you can do that. Okay.
lay on hands
Cool.
to try to just.
Um.
She's like cursing and like there's like she's like her hands are shaking as she's doing this. She's like understanding that she's not
Okay.
good enough again.
Walter, you open your eyes and you are in that chamber again.
shit, not again. Like as soon as he realizes he's in the chamber, he's like, "Wasn't me this time. Not on purpose."
You don't get a response immediately, and you look around, and you don't see Maka.
Oh.
You see that like archway into that gloom, and you see that other figure, kind of silhouetted.
Yeah.
You get the sense that they are like watching you.
Walter's going to see this, and like I think Walter's seen enough to kind of put two and two together at this point, and he will kind of slowly approach and like hand out, like going towards like a stray cat that's freaked out, and just like go to like attempt to put his hand on her shoulder and say, I'm sorry what happened to you, but thank you for protecting what you did.
This sort of like you like put your hand. The figure doesn't necessarily recoil, but you don't get any reaction of like, yes, I accept the comfort that you are trying to give me. You get sort of this like stock still like, and the hooded face like turns back towards you, and this rasping voice says,
I don't need your pity, Walter Gray.
It's not pity. It's... I don't know that I'd be fortunate enough to have the presence of mind to fight through that and still do what needs doing. But I'd like to think I would. He says, still very cursed.
He says, so you're here again. Why? My sister's indisposed, if you didn't notice.
Well, it's not on purpose this time. Not unintentional. Maybe this is just where I'm bound to go. But
Where you're bound to go. Fate. The path. That horse shite that Torian Adrian spews. Noticed, have you? The people that follow Torian Adrian's path tend to end up dead, don't they?
you know, think I kind of understand. I don't really like the idea of fate to begin with. I like the idea of struggling through this life that we have and getting what we can. Whether this is where I'm bound to go or where I just happen to end up, I'm here. What can I do with this? That's what I need to answer.
Your friend tried to take it out of you, didn't she?
Yeah, we got hints, but cryptic as they are, she seemed willing, and I figured I'd give it a shot.
Cryptic schmiptic, my sister is grieving the loss of our dear friend the dragon. I find I've got no more tears to cry. So I'm here now, and I'll not be playing that cryptic shite. Find the dawn, she says. Fuck, ridiculous.
She meant Corey, didn't she?
She meant Corey.
And to think we were looking for her all along, if only we really knew.
Round about the games he plays, that Turian Adrian. She, looks at you, and she says, well, that's interesting.
I'm gonna, look at myself and attempt to see,
You see where that shard was, in your hand in the physical realm. You see there's a black hole, essentially, that seems to be, sucking in the light around it.
She goes, do you know what you've been handed, boy?
Broken part of the stick, pretty sure.
Broken part is something much more important than that. You've got there a shard of a dead world seed.
Ah. I'm gonna look at it. Should I not have brought it here?
She says, you didn't bring it here, but summit of that nature. Not really concerned about the bounds of physical space and time. Sort of exists everywhere all at once, don't you see?
Oh, I saw. I don't know if you could see what I saw, but in case you have the ability to see that, yeah, it's pretty, a lot. Is it something I can use?
Jesus. You can. I don't know how this one got here. Well, I sort of do. The original Artenis had one. He got it from somewhere, and seems somehow now you've found a piece of it. If you must try and save the world for whatever it's worth saving, you can make use of that one. World Seeds ain't concerned with things as pesky as distance, or location, or planes of existence. Not that that one will help you that much, trapped as we all are here in our dead little world. Touch it to that staff of yours you got. Your shovel, whatnot's it? Rules about teleportation circles and nonsense. Use that. Pop right over to Lyra. Pay my dear friend Curry a visit. Pop right over to the ruins of the Invarian Empire. Take the orb right out of the cold, dead clutches of that fucker Nussum Silverleaf's hands. Pop here, pop there, pop wherever you want. You'll get all the little super weapons you want in no time, and then you can go shit kick Artanis right in his teeth.
Can we be retethered?
That were always the goal. But we use too much of our power to be able to do it ourselves. That's why we need you.
Walter's gonna like look at the void in his hand, and is like, well, gotta leave the little world a little better than we found it, right?
Ugh.
If we can, for the kids.
She goes, I'm tired of you now. And she, like, bonks you on the forehead, and you wake up as Rowan, like, blasts a bunch of lay on hands into you, and you, like, start back awake.
Oh, I'm gonna look around. Is there like blood around me at all? Like I don't know if I've managed to like partially sever my tongue at this point, or.
Oh no. You're not.
He's just gonna make.
No,
he's gonna make sure
you've
like
got
if
one of,
there's
well,
blood,
you've got
then
the
it's his
handle
and
of one of
nobody else's.
Alar's daggers in your teeth.
Rowan just isn't
like-
crying, but it's just like very close and is like, okay. She just sits back. Well, as soon as your eyes open, she's like, fuck.
Okay.
Walter's gonna like just like from the ground, just slam the shard against the shovel. That's just, I assume, is on his back at this point.
Sure.
And it's just like he'll just kind of like try to work it into the handle.
Yeah, you go like wham, and the shard goes like, and like forms itself around the handle of your shovel. And all of the like runes on the Wayfinder part of the shovel turn from like vaguely blue to black.
Hey, so got a shovel of a dead world now. You guys wanna pay Corey a visit?
I need a little bit of recovery time.
Nap.
Walter's gonna realize he's staring at the ceiling, still very much laying on the ground. It's like maybe a nap, God,
Yeah, nap sounds good.
She's such a mean one. I have to apologize.
He's
to
gonna
Carson
help
later.
Walter to his feet. I take it you saw your friend again.
No, the other one, the mean one. She's a little cantankerous. Well, we have a lot in common.
Sorry
Okay.
that didn't work, Walter.
Didn't it?
Your eyes are still as dark as night, and no, it did not work.
Oh, darkest night. That's a little brighter than they used to be. I'll take it.
I was being kind, but sure.
No, I think it's time to pay. Time to find Corey for real this time.
About that, Rowan just stands up. But did Riker stay with us, or did he leave? Through all of
I think he probably left. Be fucking wild if he was in here for all of
Yeah.
this.
Just casual robot man standing in the corner.
Yeah, he
terrifying.
squeaks a little bit. He's like, you guys seem to be having a moment. I've been trying not to intrude. No, he left. He's off to do something.
Rowan just kind of does this to like kind of reorient herself. She goes, "I need a library, or a temple."
Follow me. And
Needs some
Alar
fucking
just
incense and
starts limping toward the great library of Terra Libra, since that's where he needs to go.
yeah, we've got stuff to do before bedtime.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's something I really want to do, but it's not really appropriate. So I don't know. Group, are we done with me for now? I can just go to bed. Going to bed is fine.
Yeah, Alar is just looking for the appropriate inks and such to start scribing spells into his spell book, because if we're going to the the Blade Peninsula, yeah, he needs every bit of firepower he can get his hands on.
Sure. Yeah, you're like that meme of the lady who, like, all the mathematical equations are, like, going around your head. You're like, I see space and time! I have the right spells!
Yep, they're there. He just needs to get them out of his head into the book.
So, let's do this, then. We're going to go into, like, long rest mode here.
Okay.
If there is anything that requires a scene, let me know. Alar furiously, like, scribing spells into a book with inks, like, easily you get the stuff that you need. That's not a problem. That can happen off screen. We can say, like, Alar basically just, like, writes spells all night long.
I do have something I want to do.
Okay. And Rowan, you seem to be cooking something too.
Yeah.
Okay.
But mine is.
Well, Walter's going to his room first.
Okay.
That is Walter is going to his room.
Either Brahm or Oz, you need to do anything?
No.
Okay. Then let's have Rowan give me the like synopsis of what you're doing, and then Walter can give me the synopsis of what he's doing, and then we'll see which one like makes narrative sense to tackle first.
Rowan is going to go to the library looking for any information on Corey.
Okay.
Failing that, she's going to then also look for or ask around for genealogical records to figure out why she didn't have even a goddamn clue. And
okay.
Depending on that, reactions will be quick, but will happen.
Okay. And what is Walter doing?
Walter is going to pull the ghost lantern out of the bag.
Okay.
And he's gonna like have his shovel in one hand and the lantern in the other. And he's gonna think real hard about going to Moxham.
Okay. We're gonna do Rowan's first.
The slightly less complicated one from that look on your face.
We're gonna go Rowan first. Roll make a history check.
That's a 22.
Okay. You do some digging based on some of the things that you saw and heard in that vision. In terms of like Corey, you don't find like her name in anything. What you do find Sorry, I'm digging through literally like years old backstory lore for the world to just confirm some of these things. Okay, what you do find, you end up having to sort of like you start to dig into like the founding of the Order of the Radiant Dawn. what you are able to find are historical records that seem to indicate the original founding of the Order of the Radiant Dawn occurred when a small group of individuals, among them Theodorian Mithlinday, the man who would become king of Mithlinday and found the kingdom, essentially like banded together and wielded a power that would like then become known as the Light of Dawn, to stem the tide of the encroaching blight from escaping the peninsula. You find some different accounts that like seem to contradict, so it's hard to get a gauge. There are some accounts that say like there were originally 6 of these, like what are speculated by the author to be like proto-paladins. Some accounts there are more of them, some accounts there are less of them. You do find one account that insinuates that the Order of the Radiant Dawn was founded prior to the appearance of like paladins as a group of like holy warriors that wielded this power. There was like a period of time where like it was just a group of extremely like tenacious and well-trained warriors from like different walks of life that came together and like held the line at the mouth to the Blighted Peninsula, and eventually would fall back to Lyra to like settle and then found this order. Plenty of accounts cite Theodorian Mithlinday as an original like member of the Order of the Radiant Dawn, not a paladin by any account that you find. And then like eventually he would leave to establish the kingdom that would forever sort of like grow and prosper over centuries, very much because of the Order of the Radiant Dawn. Like Mithlinday during its formative years very much benefited from the fact that a lot of these other like warring nations kind of left them be, because it was well understood that like this Order of the Radiant Dawn and then this like Kingdom of Mithlinday around it are like the only thing keeping the monsters from getting into the rest of the continent. Originally the capital of Mithlinday was in Lyra and eventually moved to Niveria. So you kind of like you find all of this background information. You don't find anything specifically on Corey, but there is like sort of jumbled historical records that indicate that like seems to have originally been like a small group of individuals, like proto-paladins or people, and eventually this like Light of Dawn manifested within this group and they grew into what they are today. So you find that. Genealogical records as you look back. Official genealogical records that you are able to find indicate that Mithlanday's bloodline held the throne until 834 NE, which is the new era after the fall of the Empire, when the last of his line died childless. And that was when the Aldo family took the throne, who still rule to this day. Based on those official records, like, you pretty much know, like, okay, well, something is amiss in those historical records. As far as you like trace your own lineage back as far as you can, and you're only able to go back to around the time of like Mithlanday's formative years, and then like records beyond that start to get real hazy because a lot of stuff was very in flux.
Okay. Rowan's been sitting in the library pulling out all these records, digging through everything, kind of how she used to in Lyra. With, like, the books everywhere and just constantly looking for answers, but now it's about herself and it feels wrong. And it feels like she just needs someone to tell her. So then she's gonna get up and leave the library and head to wherever they're all sleeping. And she's going to, in her quarters, if it's open space, whatever, it doesn't matter, but in her spot, to the best of her ability, she's going to not fully obviously recreate, but try to recreate that vision thing Scylla did with the incense and just trying to recenter and regroup.
Okay.
Before she lights the last one, she will pull out another sending scroll and send a message to her mother. And just ask, do you know where we really come from? The women of our line. And wait for a response.
Right. You get back kind of a confused Rowan? Is that you? Where are you? Where have you been? The women of our line? I don't know what you mean. Come home.
I'm not going to use another one right now. She just shakes her head, not having heard that voice in a long time. And Rowan's going to light the last incense. And she's going to try to meditate like Scylla taught all of the crew of the Grimm's Folly to.
Okay.
Before she goes to bed.
All right.
She needs to recenter a little.
So we'll leave you to do that. And we'll shift scenes over. You take your ghost lantern, Walter. You take your shovel. You focus real hard on Moxham. And you find that similarly in the way that you open like a teleportation ring with the shovel, you're kind of able to like peel space apart. You can tell that like peeling a hole from like where you are here to like where you want to go on this, like the surface of Ageria here, is like not what this thing wants to do. You can feel the power of that shard trying to like open a passageway to somewhere else. And you can feel that like when it pulls open space around you, it reaches out to where there should be somewhere to reach to, and instead there is nothing. And there is a empty void, and immediately you hear like the cacophonous wail of like a countless myriad of what you take to be souls that are trapped in this place because they have nowhere to go. Much like this thing can't reach anywhere else, all of these spirits and these things are trapped in this place. And then you punch through another opening to somewhere else on the material plane. And you essentially have like a short hop from like opening to opening to that you have to pass through this nowhere space to get back into reality. And that is the function that you're able to achieve with this staff.
but I can see through, just like we can see through the other side.
You
of the
see it. You see like a room on the other side.
Okay, I see a room. I'm going to, like, how far is the hop? Like just a leg over,
A couple
or like
steps, essentially.
Okay. There's no risk of like falling into the void.
Doesn't seem to be. I mean, you watched a bunch of Ignians like do this, and they were able to like run through like it was a short hallway, essentially.
Yeah. Actually, Walter will have done this after he had taken a nap.
Sure, no problem.
Nap. So I'm just gonna short rest that guy. So he'll just stride over, and to what I assume is Moxham's secret study that nobody's supposed to know about.
Sure.
The idea is like I don't know if he knows I'm coming. The point is he's like I just there's something I need to do before I go to the Blighted Peninsula.
Okay.
And like he's like just willing that first, and he needs to go right to Moxham right now to get this over with.
Okay. You step through. As you pass the barrier, there's like chill runs all through your body, and this like crushing sense of like emptiness presses you from all directions for a moment, and then like as soon as it comes, it passes as you pop back into the real world. The portal like closes behind you as you step in. You find that you are in a richly appointed study, draped in like fine black silks and black velvets, rich, dark, highly polished wood furniture, chairs and lounging couches, a large ornate writing desk with the circular like embossed emblem of the Moxham Trading and Mercantile organization on the front of it. Upon the desk, an oil lamp and a blood red blotter and a bottle of red ink with a black quill feather sat in it, several sheafs of parchment. The room smells of old leather and musty tomes and excellent spirits. The scent of some kind of like a bourbon like tickles your nose. Behind the desk, long, slender fingers steepled, is the sort of unplaceable, racially sort of blank visage of Zavarand Moxham. He is wearing a perfectly tailored black suit with like a black cravat at his throat. And he looks at you with those piercing eyes of his, and he says, "Mr. Gray, I've been keeping tabs. I imagine you're here to try and settle your account."
I'd like to make an offer on that account. Modification, if you will.
I'm listening.
I'll pull the ghost lantern up. Remove the clause that beholdens my family to this. And this is yours. I know what it is, what it does. If we fail, it'll all be irrelevant anyway. If we succeed, you get this now, and the remainder of the gold in time. But if I fail and they succeed, I can't burden anybody else with this.
Mr. Gray, think you so little of my integrity that I would not be aligned with your purpose? If you fail, and the world ends, that would be exceptionally bad for business. A counter-offer to your counter-offer. Not only would I like you to keep that lantern, Mr. Gray, but I will imbue it with enough additional power that it should allow you to activate one of those lovely sending devices and follow the cultist to his destination.
And the price?
Don't fail. Succeed, and your debt is clear. Fail, and it doesn't matter anyway, does it?
Never thought I'd be able to barter on a level playing field with you, but fate or happenstance. And I'll hand over the lantern.
He takes it and he kind of sets it on his desk, and he gazes into it with a hungry expression in his eyes. He sort of turns back to you, and he says,
Very well. One more pact for old time's sake. Hey, Mr. Gray.
Well, I'm gonna gesture to my own eyes, nothing to lose or nothing ventured, nothing gained. Nothing to lose but what I don't take.
Very good then. Shake on it.
No. Shake is. I don't know that I've ever physically touched Moxum on purpose.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Make a let's in that case then make an insight check.
Yes, my dump stat. It's a 12.
12. His hand feels weird. Like it looks like a hand, like it's very like slender and pale or whatever, but like you swear that like you can just feel like all of the individual like bone and sinew of his hand as you touch him. It's like deeply unpleasant. As you shake hands, he says,
This may hurt a little.
And while holding your hand with his other hand, he grabs the top of the lantern.
Oh boy.
And we end our session. Because next week we're gonna Walter flashback episode.
Oh.
Everybody gets mustaches.
Everybody gets a mustache.
Everybody break out your mustache.
I'm good.
I don't have one. I need to go get one. Crap.
I'll get a bigger mustache.
Look, you can get like a
just
12
have one
pack
on
of
my
stick-ons.
There you go.
Curtis
Where's
has
that?
to actually shave his beard.
No.
Never.
Oh boy, I have to grow a mustache. Give me like 4 months ago to stop
Yeah.
shaving.
Give me 4 months ago.
Listen, sometimes you get an unexpected flashback episode that you have to do.
You don't have to, but like.
No, listen. The trigger for the flashback episode was when you guys met Moxum. I was not intending for that to happen for a while yet, but now it has. So guess what? Surprise flashback episode.
I hope that doesn't break the story beats. I apologize, or
Nope.
you're welcome.
Nope.
I can't tell which yet.
You know, it'd
We'll
be
figure it
real
out.
funny if next week was a week that Jason has to be on his council bullshit.
No, it's 2 weeks from now. I have 2 weeks.
Okay. We're we're all good. As I said to you guys when we had our chat off stream the other day, at this point, there's probably very little that like can happen that I can't just roll with. Like, we're all good to the end, baby. All right. Well, hey, that's gonna be our episode tonight. Which is we're ending a little early, but I think we had a lot happen, and
There was a lot.
we've hit a natural beat where it's going to be time for a flashback episode. This is not going to be relevant for a couple of weeks now because next week you're not going to be your own characters, as we'll be in flashback world. But for when you do get back to your own characters, everybody at the completion of this chapter of our story will level up. Except for Alar at this point, because you did level up twice. you stay where you're at. Everybody else levels up one.
I think, given what just happened, I think I'm gonna have to take another warlock level.
Sure.
That's appropriate for this
that
situation.
Makes sense. That makes sense to me.
I was holding off on this level on purpose, but I think it makes a lot of sense.
The man literally said, "Let's make a pact," and you shook hands and then leveled up. Seems relevant to me. Well, hey, that's our episode for tonight. Thank you to Little Dragon Corp and Cardboard Castle, our sponsors. Thank you to everybody who donated during Extra Life. That thing is still up there active. Just because we hit our goal doesn't mean we got to stop. If you want to donate, feel free to do so. As a friendly reminder, actually, I think can't remember if that's done yet or not. The $100 donation to get an entry into the have a game.
Thought that closed Sunday.
I think it did as well. So unfortunately, if you did not donate $100 prior to this, you have lost out on your chance to get a game DM'd by one of Provo's DMs. But no worries, you can still donate to the children.
Oh boy.
Good times.
Why?
Well, happy Tuesday, everybody. I hope you enjoyed our program tonight, and we will see you right here next week. Bye.